Classically Abby. Um, we are talking about her again. Yep. This is a new channel, and I've already lost count of how many videos I've made about this person. I don't want to seem obsessive. And after every video, I always say, okay, I can calm down. I can slow down. I can take a break from Miss Classically Abby. Then she comes out with another video. And look, it's either I talk to the camera or I shout at the computer itself. It's either one of those two things. Because this one, look at the title. Being conservative matters. Fight for truth, justice, and the American way. Well, she added a period at the end. So points for punctuation. Isn't that Superman? Is she quoting Superman? Like the Christopher Reeves? Whatever. Whatever. Spoiler, I did watch this video already. I don't know what to say, man. I'm starting to feel bad for reacting to her content because it is so intellectually devoid. I feel like I'm bullying her. Like, she's in the public sphere, she's talking about political issues. It's fair game, right? It's fair game to criticize her, especially when she is shoving her goddamn ads in my face. I mean, look what happens when I try to just say, go away, stop seeing this ad. We'll try to not show that ad again. And then, okay, it's still there, right? Like, like they might as well just show a picture of a guy shrugging, or better yet, just giving you one of these, right? Because ain't no way you are not seeing these ads. And I'm not helping my case because I do watch her. So what am I going to tell YouTube? I have no interest in Classically Abby. Never want to watch her videos. But being conservative matters. It's only 2.5 minutes. She has made video after video with this, like, these shallow, hollow videos trying to validate her conservative identity that doesn't revolve around conservatism itself or the values it espouses. It just revolves around being conservative and how hard it is. But don't worry, guys. We're doing a good thing here. So even if liberals don't like us, we need to still keep fighting for what we believe in. And the what we believe in part, she doesn't really go into that. She's made a video on being pro-life. That is the most substantive video she's ever done. To her credit, she actually she actually cited things and used scientific sounding words. So she was actually trying to make an argument. That's how it works. Long preamble. A really long preamble. I just need you guys to understand the mindset I am in with this woman. The thing is, I like her. Genuinely, I think she has a fine personality. I think if we met under the right circumstances, I think we would get along fine. I think we could talk very easily. And I think if politics never came up, and if I never learned who her brother was, like, we wouldn't clash. She's a perfectly personable person. Boy, perfectly personable person. And then you actually get to what she believes in. And I don't want to be rude, but Ben Shapiro is not this void of credibility in his arguments. Her brother is William F. Buckley Jr. compared to her. She is a nice person who grew up in a conservative environment. She clearly never honestly questioned her own politics. She was surrounded by liberal people, and she admits that she just never talked to them about politics because she didn't want to, start anything or be wrong, but she never had her ideas challenged. Ever. She's definitely never said she has. She's always maintained that when it came to politics, she just stayed out of it. And then when she finally did open up about being conservative, all that happened was she learned that her friends were also conservative. And then she formed a little conservative clique. This is a person who has just never taken a critical analysis of what they believe in. That should be the necessary part of anyone's life. If you put me up where I am now against where I was in high school, you will have two very different people. Because I did go through a period where I was honest about what I thought was stupid. People pointed out that I was stupid, and it hurt at the time. It definitely hurt. But I came away a more mentally strong person. So I'm watching this person with she's nice enough in her approach, but without realizing it, she is a proponent of dangerously toxic ideas. And there's never any attempt at self-reflection. She never even does counter arguments. Like, she's never even like, well, the left would say this, but the left are wrong because, whatever. She never does that. She never engages with liberal ideas at all. Like, she never does reaction videos. She never brings up leftist arguments. She exists purely within these borders here, the borders of the frame. That is where Abby's intellectual curiosity begins and ends, is within her world, within her environment, within the world of the Shapiros. So we'll watch this real quick. I feel like I've already said what I wanted to say, but please watch this.
Why do we believe in conservatism? Why do we stand up for the American way? Why do we espouse traditional values even while those around us fight to dispute the most fundamental truths? Why? Because being conservative matters.
The music, dude. It's the music. The most fundamental truths. She's never going to say what that is, because then you could actually prove her wrong. Like, if she said fundamental truth, like, family values, you could actually bring up studies that show actually gay couples, like, there's no difference in how they raise their children or how their children end up compared to straight couples. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want to engage in any discourse with the other side. She doesn't. And I see her comments, and obviously a lot of her comments are vicious. They're vicious. I wouldn't respond to them if I were her. But I do actually see comments that are just genuinely trying to reach out to her and say, hey, I disagree with what you said. This is why. I would really love to hear your response to this. Abby never responds to these comments, but I know she reads the comments, because if you scroll way down, you eventually get to someone who's like, oh my God, Abby, thank you for protecting family values or traditional values. So she reads the comments. She sees perfectly polite chances at real debate, real discourse, just a genuine conversation with someone who doesn't believe exactly what she does. She ignores it. You are never going to see her debate anybody. She's never going to go to college campuses and try to destroy people. She didn't come into this naturally, I'm guessing. I mean, she just wanted to do her own thing. I have no idea what caused this transformation. I guess she saw that her brother was enjoying his own success, and, her own makeup and beauty vlogs weren't really getting much traction, so she followed the money.
Being conservative today is not an easy path. You will be faced with every kind of hatred, from minor insults of your intelligence to the doxing of your private information to rioting and violence.
The riots are not... What? The rioters don't just like, it's not a partisan thing. Riots are a spontaneous event. They're not aimed. They're purely spontaneous. Yes, doxing is unfortunately something that happens to everyone, like at both sides of the aisle. And you remember him, that little charmer who was made into a conservative folk hero because he got, into that altercation with an Antifa group. Notice how I didn't say Antifa, because Antifa is not a group. But the reason that altercation happened, the reason it became physical, is because Andy Ngo was famous for doxing Antifa protesters. He was famous for that. He had done it multiple times. So, unfortunately, if you operate in the political sphere right now, in the age of the internet, that is a danger. It's terrible, should not happen to anyone. But to pretend that this is purely an attack on conservatives, and to completely discount the number of leftists who have gone through the exact same thing, it's despicable. It's despicable. And I love this. Being conservative matters. I can't prove this, but do you think she was making a play off Black Lives Matter? Actually being conservative matters. That matters. You guys, what, you're getting harassed by the cops? I get mean comments online. So where's my march? Where's my banner? I'm starting it right now. Hashtag being conservative matters. That wasn't really a hashtag. That was a little too diagonal. Should I keep going? I guess I will. Even though we are 30 seconds in, I have been talking for 13 minutes. Oh my god.
You will be labeled a million different things that have nothing to do with your true beliefs. You will be afraid of being an outcast in a culture that doesn't want to hear about morality or truth. But America needs conservatives. America needs conservatives to keep alive what this country stands for, what this country was built on, and the principles that make this country great, even as the mob and the elites will try to tell you that America has no right to exist at all.
The mobs and the elites, who are clearly working together. Like BLM rioters, they're like this with the elites. They're like this, What? Are you going to bring up George Soros? Is that where this is going next? Who are the elites that are keeping conservatives down? No leftist that I follow, at least, would dare to make a video this devoid of actual content. If a leftist, let's say a Democrat goes out there and makes a video that is just nothing but platitudes, they would get torn apart. They would get torn apart by the left. We don't like people who make us look stupid. You, Abby, make conservatives look even more stupid than when your intellectual kind of, your intellectual champion is Ben Shapiro, for example, there's already not much hope. But you are actually making me realize that Ben is the smart one in the family. What a terrifying thing, dude, to make Ben look like the smart one of the family. Like when Jeb came along and made us realize, I guess George was the smart one. I guess so. Wow.
America needs conservatives to fight for freedom, not as defined by shallow and sinister modern theories, but as developed by our heritage.
Wow. What? Sinister and modern theories. Again, it's hard to argue. She makes it hard to argue with her. She's just trying to create a safe space for conservatives. I mean, she's basically made that clear. She just wants a safe space for conservatives, which again, I almost feel like a dick. Like picking on her. But it's deceitful. No, not these modern sinister theories. That's not how we should be defining Equality, that's not how anyone defines equality. We just have a more evolved understanding about the struggles of other people who don't look like you, Abby, who don't come from your means. We just have a more evolved understanding. Like, let's say she's talking about critical race theory. You could think it's wrong, but it's an honest attempt to analyze this country's problems. It's an honest attempt. But I guess you would rather stick with heritage. That what the heritage founded on slavery, the heritage founded on the genocide of Native Americans, the heritage founded on the belief that women shouldn't vote. When you are nothing but heritage, I'm sorry, I don't know how to interpret that, but you hold on to traditionalism so much that you don't even see that there were genuine problems. You don't even see that there were ills that had to be corrected by modern theories.
America needs conservatives to keep the record straight on our history, to stop those who would rewrite it for their own benefit. America needs conservatives to fight for everyone's right to free speech, because there is no truth when one party can declare its propaganda as fact. America needs conservatives to return us to the idea of family so that this nation's children have the privilege of a mother and father within the home. America.
I was not expecting a dig at gay marriage. Genuinely wasn't expecting that. And if you think she's talking about, let's say, the rate of single motherhood in the black community, that's what she means by, caring about families. She writes the scripts for these videos. She chose the words man and woman, mother and father, for a reason. Ben Shapiro wouldn't even do that. Steven Crowder wouldn't even do that. And I literally just covered a video of him shitting on Labor Day. That's you are beneath Steven Crowder now. Is there anything else you want to say? Do you want to talk about how maybe, that's why we need to keep the races separated, Why not? How far back do you want to go here? How far back are we going before we return to this promised land of traditional values that you hold so dearly to yourself?
Needs conservatives to preach the American dream as a beacon of hope, available to all who would reach for it. Conservatism is vital to America, building on our past, repairing our present, and ensuring our future. Being conservative matters. And in the absence of a real-life Superman, we are the warriors of truth, justice, and the American way. Thank you.
So a cool thing about Superman, right? Back in the 1930s, some of Superman's earliest ventures were taking down fraudulent oil barons, taking down slumlords, taking on the U.S. military if he had to. He was a protector of the working class, of the poor, of the disadvantaged, of immigrants. I mean, Superman was created by two Jewish guys from Canton, Ohio. I think it's Canton. Like, you just brought up Superman. You know he wears the red and the blue, and that's all you need to know about what Superman means. Truth, justice, and the American way. What if you represent none of those things? What if you don't represent truth? What if you don't represent justice? And maybe not even the American way, because while you do represent American history, the most problematic elements, you don't represent the American ideal. You take every opportunity to oppose the advancement of society, the progress of society, that one day we may fulfill those words that every man is created equal. Of course, man, meaning human, is created equal We all have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You take every opportunity to oppose that. You represent America at its worst. I think we represent America at its best. Abby. Maybe being conservative matters because it's important to know what we're fighting for and what we're fighting against. So thank you. Thank you for brilliant content like this.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. Please subscribe to my channel and blog if you haven't already. Head over to my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook and follow me there. Hit that notification bell to get notified of all my new videos. Hit that like button. Please head over to classicallyabby.locals.com if you'd like to support my channel, see more of this content, and be part of our community. And I'll see you guys in my next video.
Imagine feeling validated by that video. Like you watch it and it starts to warm your heart because there's someone out there who also represents conservative beliefs like truth and justice. Like imagine feeling validated by that. That's like that has to be the loneliest feeling. To have to turn to someone like Classically Abby to validate your worldview. I don't know. Of course, thankfully, not too many people have started to buy it yet. It seems with every video I start to see more positive comments, a more balanced like-dislike ratio. So one day she's probably going to find her audience and she's going to become some kind of figure that we really have to deal with seriously. The idea of taking her seriously is pretty scary. But even scarier is that I liked her as a person. And this was like the first video where I honestly felt like I disliked her intensely. That I felt like a personal thing against her. I always just thought she was wrong. But this time, no, it really escalated. She took it to a new level. Well, as long as people are here to correct content like this, hopefully it doesn't get out of hand. I fear for the future when that subscriber count gets too high. Again, we don't need two Shapiros that we need to fight against. Not that I really think she'll become like her brother in stature, but who knows? I've been so wrong before about how much dumbness can succeed in this country, how much awfulness can really succeed in this country. I don't take anything for granted anymore. Not today, man. All right. This was fun, y'all. And by fun, I mean this was one of the most draining videos I have ever reacted to. Man, that stopped being fun quick. Like, how did that even happen? Let's see, is anyone watching? Let's try to see if I have any support here. Anybody who can comfort me in my time of need. How do I check that out? Okay, well, regardless, y'all, thanks again for your time and watching that with me. Yeah. I will be making more content, more reaction videos in the future, obviously. But honestly, if she keeps making stuff like that, I think it'd be best to avoid it. It's like punching air. Like you're punching air with all your might, right? Trying to defeat the air. You can't defeat air. You can't punch it. You can't destroy it. You just have to let it pass. Like, she is the intellectual equivalent of air. Oh, man. You know, what if she ever, like... I know she's never going to react to her critics, but what if she noticed me one day? And she did a little video on me? You know, like... Or maybe I would get referenced and like, oh, my God. One can dream, can't they? All right. See you guys.